If you've been seeing 1111 everywhere, having vivid dreams about love, or feeling like your entire life is falling apart and rebuilding itself, stop everything and listen to this. What I'm about to tell you will change how you see every struggle, every broken relationship, and every moment of waiting you've endured. You're not broken, you're not behind in life, and you're definitely not unlucky in love. You are being divinely prepared for the most important relationship of your life, and the signs are everywhere if you know how to read them. In the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal the 7 unmistakable signs that God is preparing you for your soulmate right now, and I guarantee that by the end of this video, you'll understand why everything in your life had to happen exactly as it did. But here's the thing most people don't realize. Your soulmate isn't just sitting around waiting for you. They're going through their own divine preparation process right now. And when I tell you what that looks like, everything will finally make sense. So if you're ready to discover why the universe has been shaking up your world and what it means for your love life, stay with me, because we're about to dive deep into the spiritual signs that your soulmate is closer than you think. The truth is, God doesn't just drop your soulmate into your lap when you're unprepared. Instead, He orchestrates a sacred preparation process, a spiritual boot camp designed to make you ready for the kind of love that transforms souls. And if you're experiencing these signs, you're not going through a rough patch. You're going through a divine preparation. Here's what most people don't understand about soulmate timing. The universe doesn't operate on your schedule. It operates on divine timing. And that timing is always perfect, even when it feels impossibly slow or frustratingly unclear. So let's dive into the 7 unmistakable signs that God is preparing you for your soulmate right now. The first sign that God is preparing you for your soulmate is that your life feels like it's completely changing. You might be experiencing a career shift, a spiritual awakening, or a deep psychological transformation. Everything you thought you knew about yourself is being questioned, challenged, and rebuilt. This isn't a breakdown. This is a divine setup. Here's the truth about soulmate preparation. God can't introduce you to your person until you've become the person ready to receive them. That means shedding old identities, healing generational trauma, and stepping into your authentic power. It's uncomfortable, yes, but it's sacred. You might be leaving toxic relationships, changing your living situation, or discovering new aspects of your spirituality. You might be questioning belief systems you've held your entire life. This inner earthquake isn't destruction, it's construction. God is tearing down the false foundation so He can build something eternal. Think about it this way. If your soulmate showed up tomorrow, would the current version of you be ready? Would you recognize them? Would you be emotionally available? Would you have the spiritual maturity to handle a connection that transforms everything? The transformation you're going through isn't random, it's purposeful. Every challenge is making you stronger. Every loss is making you clearer. Every breakthrough is bringing you closer to the person you need to become. And here's something profound. Your soulmate is likely going through their own transformation right now. Somewhere in this world, they're facing their own divine preparation, their own spiritual boot camp. You're both being refined simultaneously, prepared for a meeting that will change everything. The second sign is that your dream life has become incredibly vivid, meaningful, and prophetic. You're having dreams about love, partnership, or specific scenarios that feel too real to be coincidence. You might dream about a wedding, a home, or even a person whose face you can't quite remember when you wake up. God speaks to us through dreams because in sleep, our conscious mind relaxes its grip and our soul opens to divine communication. The dreams you're having aren't random. They're previews of what's coming. You might be experiencing dreams where you feel deeply loved, dreams about finding your person, or dreams about a future that feels both foreign and familiar. These aren't wishful thinking. They're divine downloads, spiritual blueprints being planted in your unconscious. Pay attention to the emotions in these dreams. Do you feel peace, joy, a sense of coming home? These feelings are your soul's way of recognizing what's being prepared for you. Your spirit is being aligned with the frequency of the love that's coming. Some people also experience visions during meditation or prayer, sudden images of partnership, family, or love that feel charged with divine energy. These aren't fantasies, they're glimpses of your spiritual destiny unfolding. Here's what's happening. God is preparing your heart to recognize your soulmate before your mind does. He's planting seeds of recognition in your unconscious so that when the time comes, your soul will know instantly, even if your logical mind takes longer to catch up. Document these dreams. Write them down. Look for patterns, symbols, and recurring themes. They're not just dreams, they're divine communications about your future. The third sign is that you're suddenly becoming magnetic to others in ways that surprise you. People are drawn to your energy, your presence, your authentic self. You might notice that conversations flow more easily, that strangers open up to you, or that you're attracting higher quality connections overall. This isn't about physical appearance, though that often improves too as you step into your power. This is about spiritual magnetism. As you heal, grow, and align with your divine purpose, you begin to emit a frequency that draws others to you. But here's the key. You're not just attracting anyone. You're attracting people who resonate with your new frequency. Old connections might fall away as new ones appear. Toxic people might lose interest while healthy, evolved individuals seek you out. This magnetic shift is preparation for your soulmate. God is fine-tuning your energetic field so that when your person appears, the attraction will be undeniable and mutual. You're both being prepared to recognize each other instantly. You might notice that dating feels different now. You're no longer desperate for connection. You're discerning. You're no longer willing to settle for less than you're worth. You're no longer trying to force chemistry where it doesn't exist. This shift in your dating life isn't about becoming picky. It's about becoming clear. Clear about your value, clear about your standards, clear about what real love looks like. And this clarity acts like a beacon, calling your soulmate forward while repelling those who aren't meant for you. The fourth sign is that synchronicities are exploding in your life. You're seeing repeating number sequences like 1111, 222, or 444. You're experiencing meaningful coincidences that feel too perfect to be random. You're encountering signs and symbols that seem to be speaking directly to your soul. These aren't coincidences, they're divine communications. God is letting you know that you're in a season of spiritual alignment, that divine timing is at work, and that something significant is approaching. The number sequences you're seeing aren't random. 1111 often represents twin flame or soulmate energy. 222 suggests that balance and partnership are coming. 444 indicates that angels and divine forces are supporting your journey. These numbers appear when you're in alignment with your highest path. You might also experience synchronicities related to love and partnership. Perhaps you keep hearing love songs at pivotal moments, or you repeatedly encounter couples who seem to reflect the kind of relationship you desire. Maybe you find yourself in situations that feel like divine setups, even if nothing immediate comes from them. Pay attention to what you're thinking about when these synchronicities occur. Are you praying about love, questioning your relationship status, wondering about your future? The universe is responding to your thoughts and prayers with signs that say, I hear you and I'm working on it. These synchronicities are also preparing you to recognize your soulmate. When you meet them, the synchronicities will intensify dramatically. You'll both notice the same signs, the same numbers, the same meaningful coincidences. It's how the universe confirms that you found each other. The fifth sign is that you're being called to heal deep wounds, not just your own, but ancestral patterns that have been passed down through generations. You're breaking cycles of trauma, unhealthy relationship patterns, and limiting beliefs about love. This healing isn't comfortable. You might be facing family dysfunction, childhood trauma, or generational patterns that you never wanted to acknowledge. But God is calling you to heal these wounds because they would interfere with the sacred love He's preparing for you. Your soulmate connection will be so pure, so powerful, and so transformative that it requires you to be clean of old baggage. Not perfect, clean. There's a difference. Clean means you've done the work, faced the pain, and chosen healing over hiding. You might be going to therapy, doing inner child work, or having difficult conversations with family members. You might be setting boundaries for the first time in your life. You might be choosing to break toxic cycles that have existed in your family for generations. This healing work is sacred preparation. Every wound you heal makes space for divine love to enter. Every boundary you set protects the relationship that's coming. Every cycle you break frees both you and your soulmate from patterns that would have otherwise sabotaged your connection. Here's something powerful. As you heal your own wounds, you're also healing the wounds that your soulmate carries. Soul connections are quantum. What affects one affects the other, even before you meet. Your healing journey is preparing both of you for a love that's free from the trauma of the past. The sixth sign is that despite the uncertainty, despite the waiting, despite the challenges, You're developing an unshakable faith in divine timing. You're learning to trust that what's meant for you will find you, and you're becoming comfortable with the mystery of when and how. This faith isn't passive, it's active. You're still working on yourself, still showing up for life, still remaining open to love, but you're no longer anxious about the timeline. You're no longer desperate for control. You're surrendering to the divine process with grace and trust. You might find yourself saying things like, "If it's meant to be, it will happen," or "I trust that God has someone perfect for me." These aren't just spiritual platitudes, they're evidence of deep soul maturity. You're developing the kind of faith that can sustain a sacred relationship. This trust in divine timing is crucial for soulmate connections because they rarely unfold on human schedules. They unfold on divine schedules, and divine schedules account for spiritual readiness, life circumstances, personal growth, and countless other factors that human minds can't fully comprehend. Your growing faith is also preparing you to recognize divine timing when it happens. When your soulmate appears, it will feel like perfect timing, even if it seemed impossible moments before. Your developed faith will help you trust the process and embrace the miracle. The seventh and final sign is that you're being called to your highest purpose and mission in life. You're discovering your spiritual gifts, your unique contribution to the world, and your divine assignment. You're no longer content with a mediocre existence. You're hungry for meaning, impact, and authentic expression. This isn't about career necessarily, though it might include that. This is about your soul's mission on earth. What were you born to do? What unique gifts do you carry? How are you meant to serve humanity and glorify God? Your soulmate is connected to your purpose. They're not just your romantic partner, they're your spiritual teammate, your mission companion, your co-creator in divine work. That's why you can't meet them until you've discovered your own mission. You might be starting a business, writing a book, beginning a ministry, or stepping into leadership in ways that feel both terrifying and exhilarating. You might be using your voice, your talents, or your story to help others. You might be answering a call that you've been avoiding for years. This purpose activation is the final preparation for your soulmate. When you're both operating in your highest purpose, you'll magnetize each other. You'll recognize each other not just as lovers, but as spiritual allies sent to accomplish something beautiful together. If you're experiencing these signs, you're not just waiting for love, you're being prepared for it. Every challenge is making you stronger. Every lesson is making you wiser. Every breakthrough is bringing you closer to the person you need to become. Your soulmate isn't just anyone. They're specifically chosen for you, matched to your soul's frequency, aligned with your highest purpose. That kind of connection requires preparation, and that preparation is happening right now. Don't rush the process. Don't try to force the timing. Don't settle for less because you're tired of waiting. Trust that God is orchestrating something beautiful, something worth waiting for, something that will exceed your wildest dreams. The signs you're seeing aren't coincidences, they're confirmations. God is preparing you for a love that will transform your life, heal your wounds, and help you fulfill your divine purpose. And when it arrives, you'll understand why everything else had to happen first. So embrace the preparation, trust the process, keep growing, keep healing, keep believing. Your soulmate is being prepared too, and divine timing is bringing you together in perfect sequence. The wait is almost over, the preparation is nearly complete, and the love that's coming will be worth every moment of the journey that brought you here.